Hello, everyone. I'm Scott Jordan. Welcome to a very special Series Champions edition of Inside Monster Jam. As of today, 4 out of 5 Series Champions have been crowned, and those 4 drivers will all be joining me. And up first, we go to North Carolina for the Stadium Championship Series Red Champion, and we're joined by 5-time World Finals champion Adam Anderson. Adam, welcome back to Inside Monster Jam. Congrats on your win, man.
Man, thank you so much. Thanks for having me back on. What an amazing season we've had so far. It's been unbelievable.
Well, you are now a 3-time series champion, and it's your first series since 2019. I know when I talked to you over the weekend, you had mentioned it had been a long time coming for you. So what's the journey been like for you to get back to the top, especially now in your 18th season? Is it a little more sweeter to get that win now?
It definitely is, and I think sometimes maybe I take it for granted. 2019, I wasn't even there to accept my trophy. I was out, due to an injury, and my brother Ryan filled in for me, so he got all the glory in that moment, and it was kind of a bummer. So then in 2020, the pandemic hit. Potentially en route to maybe get another one, snag another one, but at the same time. Then to fall second place, third place, just shy of winning it 2 years in a row after that. It's a bittersweet deal, and I almost take it for granted, I think. But I definitely did not for my crew. It's very emotional for them as well as for me, but they worked extremely hard, and they gave me a truck that I could perform with out on the track. And as long as that truck was going, it was all up to me then. And he gave me that every weekend.
You had to come from behind to win this. You were trailing in the point standings. Camden Murphy was ahead for a majority of the early part of the season, and you had to basically be in a rare position for you where you had to come from behind and take a win. At any point in time, did your focus lack a little bit, or were you trying to focus just every single event, trying to chip away at the points lead and get back on top?
No, in the beginning of the season, we had a few bugs here and there, and I believe a lot of the other competitors forgot about that because our season was so long this year. I missed complete elements within the event, which hurt us in the points. So we were back there, we're down on the points, and it makes it that much better though. If you can, come from down low and work your way back up and get back to the top, that's showing something not only for yourself as a competitor, a driver, but also as your team, the hard work and efforts that were put into it. And, we were consistent across the board. I feel like my racing was lacking a little this year. I was hit or miss. I felt like I would get on a roll and I would win a couple of racing events, but freestyle, we were killing it. Skills, we were about average, but overall, I think it was consistency across all 3 events.
Well, let's talk about some of the competitors that you were up against. You had Tom Meents, you had Todd LeDuc, you had Cole Vennard, Bryce Kenny, Caleb Blood. You had a stacked series. And Camden Murphy, of course, obviously, who finished in second. Who do you feel in that lineup of players here in Monster Jam was your biggest threat each and every night?
Obviously Camden, he was always very consistent with every competition within the event and every weekend. But along the way, and that's what everybody always said, they're like, we want you to win. We'd be out at the pit party, and we're like, we want you to win. We want Gravedigger to come out top. And I'm like, I'm going to try my best, guys. But even though Camden was in second, it was all the other competitors just behind him that they could knock you out at any second. I felt like last year, I ended the season, Cole Vennard knocked me out of racing in my very last event. He could have done that again this year. And many times that I got knocked out in many events because of these other competitors. It was across the board. I feel like everybody on our tour, all 12 trucks, that we were the most consistent. We had different, event champions. We had different, competition winners throughout every weekend. We were fortunate enough to be able to come out on top this time, though.
Looking ahead to World Finals, what are your expectations? You're Adam Anderson. You have 5 World Championships, so every time you go to that event, expectations are through the roof. But from a personal standpoint, you struggled a little bit there last year. Do you have redemption on your mind when we go to Nashville?
I absolutely do. I don't feel like I was in the right headspace last year. I was just not mentally on the track, and it was a lot of wear and tear on the trucks, the crew, myself as a driver. But this year I've just kind of put it in myself that I'm not letting up. I'm not backing down. I want, I've got the series championship, but now I want another world championship underneath my belt.
All right, thanks, Adam. Best of luck to you, and congrats again on your win. We'll see you in Nashville. Coming up, we stay in North Carolina as the E-Series champion Weston Anderson joins the show next on Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. Welcome back to Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. It's a very special Series Champions edition. And right now we go back to North Carolina on the Great Clips hotline as we are joined by the East Series champion, Gravediggers, Weston Anderson. Weston, welcome back to the show. Congrats on your win.
Thank you, man. It's always a pleasure talking back on here with you, Scott.
So you had a phenomenal rookie season, which, we've talked about. We've hyped that up. You yourself said you thought it was the greatest rookie season in Monster Jam history. I think the question from that point was, where do you go from there? And you decided you were going to go back-to-back and win another series title. Talk about this season in comparison to last year and maybe what your growth was and what changes you saw on the track.
Yeah, absolutely. I honestly think this season that I've had is way better. It knocks the last season out of the park, and it was a little bit underrated. We were on a tour. We were all over the place, 19 weeks straight. I still have some weekends left to go, but I actually threw down so much harder this year. I got so much more comfortable with Gravedigger 37 and had an awesome crew behind me, and we were just taking competition after competition. I mean, I'm up to 41 overall event championships. Right now, we still have 3 more events to go this year. And yeah, I'm just super comfortable in the truck, and it was a great season all around.
It's nice that you're counting those. 41. It's a solid number. Why stop there? Let's just make it. Let's make it 45. So you get an automatic bid once again to World Finals in Nashville this season. Let's talk about your performance last year in World Finals. A lot of hype there with you, and I, as always, I'm partially responsible for that. You come out, you win in round 1 against Jamie Garner, which is no easy feat. And then you lose to Tom Meents in round 2. I do want to say that there's no shame in losing to Tom Meents at World Finals, but then you go to freestyle and you finish 13th. So what was the deal with you at World Finals? Was it just too big of a track for you? You weren't used to it, or just too much pressure on you? What happened with you in Orlando?
Man, it was a ton of pressure being the second Gravedigger out to second truck out to freestyle, first Gravedigger, and I had never been on a big floor like that. I was kind of just thrown to the big dogs. I ran a 17-week tour inside of arenas, inside of hockey dashers, and then I had free range of whatever I wanted to do out there. I had never done a backflip before, and it was a ton of pressure on my shoulders, and we just kind of fell on our face a little bit, had a little bit of a wow moment there with the crazy nose pick to whatever you want to call it. I don't know, but we're coming back for vengeance this year. I've changed up my freestyle tactics a little bit. I've been going harder and harder each weekend, and I feel like I'll be a little bit more comfortable in the in Nissan Stadium this year, hopefully at least.
Did Tom have any goading to you at all, or gloating about his win? Did he give you any sort of snide remarks coming back that he took out the youngest Anderson?
No, Tom probably doesn't even remember that he beat me. He's raced so many people in his years, and I'm probably his least of his worries. But I will say he got lucky I missed the landing ramp.
Okay. All right. So you said you have a different freestyle approach for this year. Obviously, again, a lot of eyeballs are going to be on you. You're still going to come in with a lot of hype as now a 2-time series champion, a rookie of the year. What are you doing mentally to prepare for World Finals?
One major difference that I've done from last year to this year, I've definitely not taken the competition as seriously. It's still a serious gig, and I just wanted to go out there and have fun with it. We get to drive monster trucks for a living, so I want to go out there and do as best as I can each time and just have fun with it. So I'm going to try and take a little bit of that momentum into World Finals, go out there, have fun with my first stadium of the year, and if we end up doing good, if we end up winning, that would be sweet. If we end up falling on our face, we're going to have a couple more Gravediggers in the back to pick it up.
What would it mean to you to go into Nashville and walk out of there as a World Finals champion? Would that be something that you would share with your brothers and your sister and your dad? Would it be something that would really cement you as an Anderson or a star? What would that be like for you to be able to capture that moment?
Man, it would be a dream come true. Ever since I was 5-6 years old, I would always play with my monster trucks on the ground, and I'd always have a Gravedigger, and I would be the Scott Jordan to myself. I would announce myself and say that I'm a world champion, and to bring it to real life would be a dream come true, and I would probably cry in front of 70,000 people.
Do you think you'd get the old man to cry in front of 70,000 people?
I got him to cry. I got him to cry for my championship speech. So if he saw it on Instagram and cried, I'm sure he would cry in person.
Well, I'm looking forward to that, and if you win, I may cry, man. I do root for you. I appreciate you and everything you've done for the sport, Weston. So thanks again, congratulations, and looking forward to seeing you in Nashville.
Absolutely, can't wait to see you there.
And as for you folks, I'm looking forward to you staying right where you are. Up next, the Central Series champion Brandon Vinson joins the show. That's coming up on Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. Welcome back to Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil, the official Monster Jam podcast. Today, we're talking to the series champions in Monster Jam, and right now we go back to the Great Clips hotline, where we're joined by the Central Series champion, Brandon Vinson. Brandon, welcome to Inside Monster Jam. Thanks for spending some time with me tonight.
For sure, man. Good to see you, Scott. Appreciate you having me on, and looking forward to talking to you.
Absolutely, man. You are continuing to rack up these accolades. You're now a 4-time series champion. You join Tyler Menega as a 4-time series champion. He could get number 5 here pretty soon, but for now, you're right there at the top, man. So talk about your going into superstardom here. You're literally ascending into superstardom now as a 4-time champion. What does that mean to you? Yeah,
it means a lot to me, and to do it in a short amount of time. I feel like, as everybody knows, I started as a crew chief, ended up in a driving position. And I've been here 6 seasons, I think. So it feels very good, to be a 4-time series champion. Also the reigning world racing champion from last year in Orlando. So it feels good, man. I can't thank my family enough for being behind me, and all the fans out there. It's been awesome. None of it's possible without them. And we just keep moving along, trying to get better. And working towards the goal of going to the World Finals in Nashville this year, and trying to win another championship. So I'm blessed, and I'm humble, and it's been awesome.
Let's talk about your series. So when you started the season off on the Central Series, you're a defending series champion, you're a reigning World Finals champion. So maybe was there a little more pressure on you this season because of everything you had done last year to get back to where you're at now?
You know what? I felt like this year, like I kind of accomplished my goals as far as winning series championships, winning a world championship. So I just wanted to come into this season and have fun and kind of perfect my craft in 2-wheel skills, really perfected in freestyle, and have fun with everybody that was on tour this year. We had some of the best competitors in Monster Jam on Arena Central this year, and they kept me on my toes, man. So I really had to go out there and do a good job each and every time I hit the track. We did 17 weeks, 52 events, and I just wanted to come into this season having fun. I had Cody Saucier, Tony Oates, John Zimmer Jr., Zach Garner, and they're all great at what they do. So I really had to go out there and be on my game, and I just wanted to have fun doing it, and that was the goal. And ended up being the series championship, or winning the series championship this year, and I had fun doing it.
I had the John Zimmer Jr. on this show a couple weeks ago. There's an online campaign to get John Zimmer Jr. to World Finals. Yeah. Do you think he deserves an opportunity to compete there in terminal velocity?
Yeah, for sure. John Zimmer Jr. is 2 seasons in, man. He's done an awesome job. Me and him hung first and second all year. Zach does an awesome job as well. All these kids coming in deserve an opportunity to go to the Monster Jam World Finals. I think he proved it on the track for sure, and he did great, man. We battled out all year long. Yeah, I think it's cool to watch the younger generation come in and do such a great job. And hopefully, like on tour this year, I told all the guys, everybody new coming in, hopefully you guys learned something from me out on the track, because I learned from them as well every day, And I think he deserves a shot to go to Monster Jam World Finals for sure.
Well, let's talk about World Finals. You're not going to surprise anybody this year, and not that you surprised anybody last year, but obviously you're a pure racer, and you'd won a lot of races in 2022. But coming out of the Arena Series and going into a track like that, I don't think anybody had predicted you to win the racing championship. You go through the bracket, you knock off your friends, you beat Ryan Anderson in the most epic racing final of all time. But now everybody knows what you're capable of doing. So I don't think you're an underdog in the slightest. If not, I'd say you're the favorite to repeat. So how do you, what's going to be different for you this year? Because you don't have, you're not going to fly under the radar now. Everybody's going to be coming after you.
Yeah. I like, it was good flying under the radar. I was the underdog. and it gave me that drive to go in there and prove everybody wrong. And this year, I'm going to go in there and have the same mentality. Just try to do a good job, focus on the racing, focus on each race. If we make it to the next round, focus on the race that you're racing then. And just try to come in there and really study the track, and watch some video like I did last year, and try to do the same thing. Just try to keep my head level. It's hard. Last year was 24 of the best drivers, my friends. By the time we get to the track, we've done so much media, so much PR, and it's hard to focus on the task at hand. And I want to focus on freestyle this year, honestly, because I've had some tough luck in freestyle at the World Finals. I think I've either broke early or made it a little bit and then broke. So I really want to have just a burner in freestyle, and as far as try to repeat in racing.
Well, looking forward to seeing what you can do, man. Looking forward to seeing you and the family in Nashville.
Yes.
Thanks again for coming on, Brandon. Good to see you, man.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Stay right where you are. We're not done yet. Tristan England comes on next on Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. Welcome back to Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. This is a special Series Champions edition, and right now we go back to the Great Clips hotline to join the West Series champion, Earthshakers, Tristan England. Tristan, welcome to Inside Monster Jam. I see you're on the road. Where are you headed to?
I've actually got the family in the truck right now. We're heading to Pensacola, Florida. Got a few events down there this weekend, but I've already been all over the world for just the first quarter of the year, so things are getting crazy. We shook things up, and we even got to wheel Blue Thunder, so it's been crazy.
Yeah, it was an amazing trip for you to South Africa. We'll get to that in just a second, but heavy is the head that wears the crown. The work is not yet done. You win a series championship. You were heading to World Finals. So as you wrap up this season, man, quite a difference for you from coming out of 2022 where you fell a little short. I know you were upset about that, but talk about your journey here to get that series championship back.
Well, the first thing I got to touch on is how much it takes to actually be at the top, and it takes a good team, a good crew, and it takes a lot of consistency. And this year I had Howie Dalton turning wrenches for me, and he is a seasoned veteran with the technicians, and especially helping out some of the UNOH guys that come in that are fresh, and giving them the good pointers so that they're ready and good to go for the first quarter or the second half of the year. So it's been awesome to have that team backing me throughout the season, and it goes to show that hard work does pay off, and we definitely got the trophy. But Cold Hard Art, he made those trophies look cool, so I can't wait to get to Nashville, and hopefully we'll be holding a new world champion trophy.
Yeah, let's go to that. Let's talk about your resume. You're now a three-time series champion. You are a showdown winner, and you won the 2021 Stadium Two-Wheel of the Year award. So you got to compete at World Finals last year in the skills competition. Just a little teaser taste for you. Now you get the full experience. So that's the only thing, seemingly that is left off your resume is a world championship. What would it mean to you to go to Nashville and get that honor and bring that one home to Texas?
I've been feeling really good, and my son Crash, hopefully he's the third generation. He sure is acting like it, because when we get to the house, we get all the Spin Master trucks out, and we're trying new tricks, we're trying new moves. And I've actually got a new move up my sleeve, especially for World Finals in Nashville, and I cannot wait to unveil it. But the truck has to stay together, man. We only made a few hits last year, and I was able to stay consistent enough throughout my freestyle because I knew I wanted to make more hits, because it feels like a redemption every time I get to go there. I'm an arena guy. I thrive on getting to go to the stadium and just at least to make a name for myself. And I feel like I've done that already when I got to wheel with Megalodon. But now with Earthshaker, anytime I get to go into a stadium, I really want to represent my own name very big. So I want to come out World Finals and really shake things up again for 2023. I've already got a championship won, but hopefully we can get the big one.
Well, you're just coming off of South Africa where you got the opportunity to drive Blue Thunder. I saw you were rocking a Dalton Milliken shirt, which I thought was a nice touch. How was South Africa over there in Blue Thunder?
Man, it was crazy. It was a wild experience. First off, the fans, they're absolutely crazy. They don't get to experience Monster Jam and Monster Trucks as often as the people in the States do. So it's a crazy experience for everybody as a whole. Especially for us drivers. We had pyro going off in the stadium. Getting to drive Blue Thunder, though, I was not ready to drive it back in the day when I was first getting my start. But, man, I had the opportunity to drive it right here in 2023, and I'm glad that I was able to at least pick up a racing win. And we had fun showing off in two-wheel skills, got a little greedy in freestyle. But, hey, we stomped on that loud pedal for sure, and we had a lot of luck behind us going into that, and just a blessing to be able to drive that truck finally.
You just quoted yourself as being an arena guy, which, that's where you've made your bread and butter here, but you've got stadium experience. You won the stadium two-wheel, as I mentioned. You won the showdown in a stadium. Are you prepared for this, 4 competitions in one day thing? How obviously, doing these multiple event weekends in the arenas, that prepares your stamina, but 4 competitions in one day, that's a lot, especially when it comes to being at the biggest event of the year.
Well, not only that, we're going to be in Nashville, so it's going to be a little hot. It's going to be like Orlando was to us, a little bit of humidity. So we'll see how it goes. But one thing's for sure, you definitely have to stay in shape. And I've definitely changed up my whole lifestyle since I had a son. So I'm getting in better shape. I'm in the best shape of my life right now. I'm prepared. I'm bringing my 10-gallon hat. And it's going to get Western out there in Nashville. I'm ready for it.
I like the confidence. And you look, actually, now that you won your championship again, you look a lot happier. I know you had a chip on your shoulder last year, which, it was there, I noticed, and now it's off. So there's no chip there anymore, Tristan. You're a series champion again. Congratulations. Looking forward to seeing you in Nashville, man. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, man, it's hard to compete with those Gravediggers on the 40th anniversary, but I didn't see that sticker on there this year. So I'm coming to Nashville, and we're going to shake things up. We're bringing the heat, and then we're going to have a lot of fun, that's for sure.
I love that. So 4 series champions have been crowned. Stadium Championship Series Blue awaits their winner, Tyler Menninger, Ryan Anderson, coming down to the wire in that one. So stay tuned. That's all the time we have for this edition of Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. Thanks for joining me once again. I'm Scott Jordan. I'll see you right here next time.